All right, so I'm a guru who is waging war on fake gurus in 2025. Now here's why.
Here in my garage.
I'm somebody who started their online journey when they were 18 years old. I didn't want to be a business owner. I didn't want to be a guru. I didn't want to be a big entrepreneur. I just wanted to make some extra money online to fund my life so I could go out and party and have fun and play video games and do the stuff that I wanted to do without necessarily having to work all these full-time jobs and go to uni and do the stuff. That was what my crazy 18-year-old brain wanted to do. And so I had this really cool journey, and you can see it on my profile, where I went and I got into online business and I got a couple of coaches who were gurus, and I started getting some skills that allowed me to eventually drop out of uni, leave my job as a barista, and start making $25,000 a month online at 19 years old. Now 24, I've been doing this for years and years and years. I've actually stuck the course. And as a result of building multiple different businesses, I've also got to the point now where I'm able to coach people on what to do and how they can get started as well with multiple different types of business models, primarily with e-commerce. And so now I have a coaching program called Ecom Boss Mentoring. You look us up on Trustpilot, you see our 5-star reviews, you can see our vlogs from our client events here on YouTube, you can see our client interviews all over my YouTube channel. We're really good at helping beginners get started online. But the catch to that is no matter how many people I help, I will always be a guru. And so I remember a couple of years ago, I looked at client success rates of all these other programs. I looked at what they were doing. I looked at what ridiculous numbers they were charging, ridiculous, 30, 40 grand in some cases, obscene. And I was looking at the success rates and they were so low. And I said, you know what, even though mine are great and we're doing really, really well, I made it a commitment of mine to ensure that I had the best success rate for my clients out of anyone else that was doing coaching on the planet. And so I went back and I stripped everything in my program to basics. The very first thing that I did was I looked at the model. I looked at what we were teaching. We were teaching dropshipping, with Shopify stores and ads. And while it was a great model, and it still to this day works, but if you've seen any of my videos on the channel, you know that I'll tell you consistently over and over again, religiously, that if you're a beginner, Shopify dropshipping nowadays is just too difficult to do as a beginner. If you have no confidence, no skills, and no cash flow yet to put into ads and stores and stuff like that, it's not the best model. And so around 2022, when I was having this conversation with myself, I was looking at that and I knew that something had to change. Even though my clients got better results than most ecom courses, I couldn't teach it to my beginners anymore and say to them, hey, this is the best way for you to get started. I knew I had to change. And so I looked at the model and I broke it down into all of its parts: traffic, products, storefronts, how we scale, all the different things. And I asked myself, if I wanted to have the highest success rate in the world as a coach and put all the other gurus to shame with their 0.1% success rates, what do I need to remove? And so I looked at it all and I knew I needed to remove a lot of creativity, because building a Shopify store, unless you're really creative and you have you're good at making beautiful landing pages and making beautiful ads and doing really all this creative stuff, you're not going to do very well. The majority of people who I found really struggle were people who weren't really creative. They wanted to follow instructions. They didn't want to be an artist. They didn't want to have to create these beautiful, beautiful stores. And so I said, well, cool, we're ripping those out. Now, what about advertising? All the money that goes into advertising and advertising on Facebook and TikTok and YouTube, whatever it may be, that's expensive. If you're a beginner, you don't have the funds to do it, or you can't justify putting all this money into testing, knowing full well there's a very good chance you won't make any money back. And so I said, I've got to take out advertising. And so I ripped out all the different pieces of the model, and so I was left with, I need to find a way to sell products online without paying for advertising, without creating a store, and without having to take on any risk up front. Sounds like a dream. And I knew that if I cracked this code, I would have the best system for beginners to get started selling online ever. My success rate would be the best. I would put all the gurus to shame, and I would have the best coaching program on earth. And so over time, myself, my coaching team, people who are involved, we created something called the Ecom Boss system, which is organic dropshipping. Selling products on free platforms like Facebook Marketplace, where you can dropship, never have to pay for advertising, never spend any money up front, and only ever pay money after you've been paid first. So for example, you know how to find products that are going to sell, you put them on a Facebook Marketplace or eBay, and then the customer pays you. You take a little bit of that cost and pay it to a supplier to ship the product out, and the rest of the profit is yours because there is no advertising. There is no other funds you're putting out there. That's the beauty of the model. And as soon as I was able to look at the model and go, how can I have the best model for my students? How can I build a model to make money online that is built for beginners? So once I knew I had the model down, I started putting my clients through it. The results skyrocketed, and I saw that I was getting 80 to 90% of people who were going through this model, making their first sales within the first 3, 4, 5 weeks. I knew the model was dialed in. But now the next thing is, what about the coaching? You see, if you have bought from a guru before and you joined their course, joined their little mastermind program, you spent 3, 5, 10 grand or more, the support isn't exactly what they promised you, is it?
Oh, we'll help you every step of the way. You just have to email us. You have to wait 7 to 14 days. No, 100%. You can always have a one-on-one call with us.
But then every time you book a one-on-one call, they suddenly reschedule it. And then the next time they reschedule it and they reschedule it. And the reason why I know this stuff is not only because I've been through it as well when I started, but also having one of the programs that actually gets our clients results, they trust us and they tell us the stories. And so we hear all the horror stories of what these gurus are doing to their clients. And that's the reason why we look at their reviews. It's so mixed. There are people talking about how bad the program is and how bad the company is because they're being ripped off. They had this system that wasn't optimized for beginners and then they weren't supported. Hey, come to this group call and there's 800 people on it. How are we supposed to get your questions answered? It's not going to happen. And so we knew we had the model. How do we get the system for delivering the coaching and the support? How do we make that the best it could possibly be to ensure that our clients get the results no matter what? And so instead of building some big complex group program where there's 8,000 students and you never get your questions answered, if you want to ask a question, you have to email in and wait 3 business days. We built our program around real one-on-one support. So when people come into our program, we give them the entire training program, but most importantly, we give them access to a one-on-one coach as they're going through and they're learning it. Not through a call they can schedule 3 weeks in advance and it gets no-showed and it gets rescheduled for 6 months. An app on their phone where they can message their coach all day, every day until they've mastered the system. Any questions, whatever concerns. If something's working, great, let us know. If something's not working, tell us, let us diagnose. That's the reason why we go back and forth with our clients all day, every day on an app where they can work with their coach to ensure that they're never left behind. That is something that you don't see coaches doing. And if they are, they're charging you 15 to 20 grand or more to do so because they only care about the money. And that was one of the biggest things that really allowed us to get the results. If you go to our Trustpilot and you see the 5-star reviews, you'll notice that almost every single review mentions the word coaching. That's what we're known for. We're not a course. We're not a group program, we are a coaching program. But we make sure you get the results because we're working with you each and every day. Something that most gurus don't want to do. The next thing I did is now they got the model that's different, that I know is going to work and generate results. The next thing is, how do I get the coaching? I made the best coaching protocol in the world. So my clients go through like a conveyor belt and they come out the other side with results. The third part is continually investing back into my clients. You see a lot of courses, if you buy them from a guru that you see on YouTube or TikTok, that course was filmed 18 years ago, man. It's outdated. You look at the dashboards of everything, it's outdated. Versus with us, we're always looking at not only how do we update things every single month, but whenever new things come out, we're investing money into it. We're making sure they have the best results possible and the best tools possible. So for example, when we devised that system for going organic and using free shopping platforms, it would take our clients about 3 to 4 hours a day because they would find the products that make their listings, but they'd still have to manually create the listings and put them up and refine them and refine it. It took a lot of time. But then AI came out. And instead of just showing them how to just use ChatGPT, which is where we started, we then started working with an incredible developer. And he built an AI tool from scratch specifically for our clients to make AI listings within a heartbeat. So it took our client time from about 3 to 4 hours a day to less than 45 minutes or so a day to follow the system, make listings and generate results. And that takes time, and that takes money, and that takes effort to continually be putting more into our clients. But the reason why we do it is because it gets the best results. You'll be hard pressed to find a guru that will actually invest a consistent time, money, energy, and effort in updating and improving and adding new services and adding new tools to that program, because why would they do it when they can just protect their margins? Ecom Boss cares about client success more than anything else, and that was one of the third things I wanted to focus on. And the last thing is I didn't want to be a ghost. You see, over time, as a guru gets bigger, they focus on their content, they focus on their program, of course, but they don't have time for their clients. And so, yes, while I'm not actively working with each and every single one of my clients one-on-one all day, every day, I have an incredible coaching team that does that. I make sure that I am not a ghost with my clients. I have, for the most part, outside of coaches I paid tens and tens of thousands of dollars for, and I've paid coaches 100 grand a single year before. Outside of them, I've never really joined a group coaching program or an e-commerce program when I was starting out, where I actually had to meet the coach behind it. Versus an Ecom Boss, we fly around the country, and we've been doing this for years, flying to Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Gold Coast, here in Perth, obviously, which is my hometown, spending time with our clients. My clients see me once a year. They can hang out. I'm not too cool to sit down and have a beer at the bar and talk shop and give you advice and give you support and just shoot the shit, because the bottom line is I'm not a guru that's here trying to be famous or trying to be the coolest thing since sliced bread. I'm just somebody, as an 18-year-old kid, who did it and enjoys helping other people. And so with my clients, and as we expand worldwide, as we build coaching teams around the world, my thing is that I'm always going to be there. I'm going to travel to the events. I'm going to spend time with my clients. If they invest in my program and I'm in the city, I'll sit down and I'll spend time with them, because that's what most coaches aren't willing to do. And as a result of doing all of this, our program has stunning reviews, incredible success stories, happy clients across the board, and most importantly, we have a lot of fun in the process for a program that is designed for beginners who want to make their first 3 to 5 to 10 grand per month online, or you're the best at what we do. Am I the guru that claims to be able to make you $1 million a month with your Shopify store, or build a brand and scale it and exit at 8 figures? No, that's not what I do. I am focused purely on my beginners, and I'm the best in the world at that, and don't take that based on my word, take it on the way that I've designed my programs and how my clients have experienced those programs. And compare that to the other gurus who only care about the paychecks. Outdated programs, courses with no coaching, no real support. You'll never see them in person. They'll never talk about stuff like this because they only want to sell you a course. They never want to tell you what's really going on behind the curtain or really matters when it comes to getting client results. And most importantly, they don't really care about being a real coach. Because being a coach means you care about your clients, you invest in your clients, and you make sure that your clients get the results at the end of the day. That's what Ecom Boss is all about. And going into 2025, I'm waging war on the fake gurus by investing more into my clients, spreading my team across the world, doing more in-person events, and making sure that anybody who comes into contact with Ecom Boss has the best experience possible. Because my hope is that one day, not only is Ecom Boss thriving and is helping tens of thousands of people all over the world, but it also encourages other gurus, other coaches, other course sellers who claim to help you get results but never really do. I hope it encourages them to step up, think about their clients first, build systems and models and coaching and support that allows their clients to get the best results possible. Because the funny thing about all this stuff is that myself, a lot of other coaches out there, we all got started because we had a coach in the early stages too. Every other person that you've probably seen online that's been successful with e-commerce or social media marketing, whatever it may be, chances are they got started with a coach as well. So I hope this video encourages you that if you're going to go work with a coach that really cares, with a program that is designed for you to meet you where you are, to get you the results you want. And if you're a coach or a guru watching this, level up, take this stuff seriously, invest in your clients, and that's going to be how you get where you want to go. Hope that was valuable to you guys, and I will see you the next one.